Frozen Flame's early access release on Steam is scheduled for tomorrow on the 17th of November. Explore the vast world of Arcana, build your own settlement and deal with challenging foes. This brand new survival RPG can be played solo, but why not make friends during your adventure or fight other players on a competitive server? Hey, what's up guys, it's your man 4am again back with a new guide, to which I'm going to walk you through setting up your own server via GPortal for Frozen Flame, so you can play with friends or have a competitive server with PvP, talk about all the modifiers which you can work with to alter the behavior of structure decay, talk about the modifiers for mobs, HP and damage, so let's get right to it. Before we get started, definitely make sure to check out my ref link in the description if you are ready to host a server via GPortal, as I'm an official partner with them, and with that link you will get a discount during checkout. Not only for Frozen Flame servers, but also for Valheim, V-Rising, Minecraft, any type of game you can imagine, they host it. So if you use that link, you get a discount, help out the channel at the same time, already very much appreciated. Alright, so here we are on the official Steam page for Frozen Flame, on which you can see that this bad boy is going to release on the 17th of November. Some people are still asking when exactly. Well, according to the page itself, it says in 1 day and 5 hours. So that would mean around 2-3 p.m. Central Europe time. So it's about time we get our server ready. So let's get to GPortal. Okay, so here we are on GPortal. If you use my ref link, you should be able to see it in the top of the screen. Let's go to rent a server and scroll down. Right here, we're gonna type in Frozen Flame. And look at that, 3 days starting at 3:30. We're gonna press order now. And there are different options. You can basically choose between Australia, Japan, China, US, EU, and England. I think I'm going to go with a 30-day server for England, as some of my viewers are also from the US, but we're going to create our very own configuration. As you can see, the discount is already applied, but wow, we can go with up to 1,000 player slots. That's crazy. I think that's going to be a little bit too crazy. I think you would go with something like 20 slots to begin with for the early access, 30 days, and then we go with London, and that is basically everything. So I just activated my server and it's already up and running. Active players 0 to 20. I'm going to share the IP address on my Discord, so if you want to check it out, it's in the description. So right here we have all the basic settings for the server. The first one would be your server name. Take something that many people will recognize. I think for my community server we're going to go with something like that. Maximum players, server password if you want to have one, so you won't have any intruders coming in. The Archon password I think is for file management via, for example, FileZilla. Then we also have the map type. We can change this from Heaven to Survive, but it's Heaven on default. And they already confirmed on the official Frozen Flame Discord that Survive is still a work in progress, so I wouldn't want to mess too much with all this. We can, however, already enable PvP though. This also is a work in progress, but they said that you will be able to deal damage to each other, so you can allow some form of PvP, which I think is going to be pretty interesting, especially to experiment with. Then we also have the creature's aggression skill. It's pretty much what it says, multiplier of the radius of the aggressiveness of the monsters. By default it's 1, so if you're standing an X meters away from the mob, it will come after you, while if you put it on, let's say 10, you will aggro them from an insane distance. So it could be interesting to fiddle with. 1, however, is a default, so I would stick with that to begin with. Then we have the Beano module cost. If you enable this, it will basically disable the building cost for all the people on the server. So this could be interesting if you want to try some creative builds, but by default I would leave it on off. I personally think it would be nice if we had a admin command, let's say, where you can actually enable or disable it for the people who organize or manage the server. Then we also have the Be Invulnerable modules that probably makes all the buildings vulnerable if you enable it, while the monster health multiplier and the monster damage multiplier are both changing the behavior of the mobs, how much damage they deal and how much HP they have. By default, everything normally is set to 1, while right here it was set to 2 by default, so I think this is the default for Frozen Flame. It's still early access, so you can always fiddle with this and see what's going to work best for your audience, but I'm going to leave both to 2 right now, while we also have the B limitless support. This basically means that if you enable it, you will no longer have to support roofs, let's say. If you go for a large structure, you will have to support it with beams, while if you have this enabled, you no longer have to do that. But this will make buildings less realistic as well. Then we also have the minimal level to drop items after death. So if we set this, for example, to 20, it means that if you are on level 20 or higher, you will drop your items after death. So once again, this could be interesting if you're focusing on a PvP or competitive server, while I'm going to leave it to 0 to begin with the early access and see how things are going to work out. We can also check out the server log, but as you can see, there are plenty of errors, so I don't really think the server is working properly right now. And then we also have the console, so if we type something right here, then it will basically be broadcasted to the server. I'm not sure how exactly it's gonna work, but it says command send what's up, command send yo. So if you had people online, they can probably read this. And I think it would be pretty interesting to focus on restart. So every day you will basically have a restart for your server. Let's do this on 4 AM Central Europe time and call it morning 4 AM restart. So if we have this enabled, it will basically restart the server every single day. So say there are some things bugged on the server, like items not despawning, because that's one of the modifiers which I haven't seen yet. The despawn time of items, with the restart, it will probably refresh everything, make the server run a little bit smoother. And then the last important thing right here, I think, is the backup. So if you want to create a backup, say the early access is going to move to a new version, you want to make a backup and see what happens if you use set world on the newer version. Who knows, it will break, who knows, you'll be able to still play it, but in early access you definitely want to make backups from time to time, as you never know what breaks what. Alright, so there you have it, pretty much everything you need to know to get ready for the early access release of Frozen Flame. The release date, according to the official Steam page, would be between 2 to 3 PM Central Europe time, midday for Europe basically, and then also host your own server with a pretty nice discount while you're at it if you use my ref link in the description. Right now though, it is 4 AM out. I want to wish you guys a lot of fun with the release, of course. If you have any questions or suggestions for videos, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to answer them. Right now though, it's 4 AM out. I want to wish you an awesome day. Till next time. Peace.